Hi and welcome to Culture Crazy Videos. My name's Brand Lucy and today I'll be showing you how to set up your Kombucha SCOBY starter kit. Now it's a very simple process, but kombucha does require maintenance weekly to keep it at a drinkable state because it is essentially a vinegar. So to set it up, it's a really simple process. What you'll be needing is some black tea, water and sugar. And that's it for the beginning. So you'll also need a large jar, so try not to use a small one. These ones they're okay to set it up in, but you will need a larger jar to get a decent amount out of it. Now it's a very simple process, like I said. All we need to do is dissolve 2 tablespoons of sugar per 350 ml of water, and then we add a tea bag and make it into black tea. I find that it's best to just add a little bit of hot water down the bottom and then top it up with the cold pure water, and that way it just dissolves faster. So this one's set to cool at room temperature for a while now, so it's perfect to use. You've got to remember as well not to pour it hot. You will kill the SCOBY if you do that, so it needs to be at room temperature. So what we do is, once you've dissolved your sugar in your tea, top up your jar to 350 ml or thereabouts, and then just add your SCOBY. Now, just to give you a demonstration, your SCOBY may not be this established when it turns up, but it will be a couple of weeks old at the very least. So that's the SCOBY. Just pop that in there. And then you'll find a handy little cover that comes in the starter kit. You just pop that over. You've got to always keep kombucha covered, by the way. It is really important, either with a lid or cling film or the cloth. And that's because fruit flies and gnats just love this stuff and they will get into it. It's not a case of if, it's a case of when. I've had several occasions where I've been working on it and I've walked away for 2 minutes and come back and I've had to throw the SCOBY out. If you do find flies in your kombucha, you have to throw it out. They will have laid eggs and you will get maggots on it and you don't want that. So that gets set aside for 6 days. After 6 days, it'll have formed a new layer on the SCOBY. Here's one we prepared earlier. And your SCOBY will have taken up the surface area available in the jar. So let's see if I can get this one out. These aren't the easiest tongs to manage. Now this one started off as the exact same size as the last SCOBY that I showed you in the starter kit. And then of course it's grown over the week. This is actually about 2 weeks old. As you can see, it'll take up the surface area. Now you might find that your SCOBY may actually rise itself above the level of the liquid that it's in. And when that happens, just take something plastic, don't use metal, and just poke it back down, just to make sure that it's submerged. And that's really important just to stop mould from growing on the top of it, because while the kombucha itself is really acidic and it stops anything else from growing in it apart from the kombucha, the top of it, if it dries out, it loses some of the pH. So that way some of the invading microbes can actually settle on it. So it is really important just to give it a clean by just dunking it under the actual kombucha. Now as time goes on, you can move this into a larger jar or you can just maintain it at this level. Now that's what I was doing there. Now after a week, you've started off with your 350 ml, and then you want to actually top that up with another 350 ml of cold tea. And per 350 ml of cold tea, you add 2 tablespoons of sugar. Now when it comes to the choice of sugar, for some reason kombucha and most of the cultures actually really prefer white sugars. I think this is just because of the processing leaves it as a really simple carbohydrate and it's very easy for it to absorb and use straight away. They don't object to brown sugar, raw sugars, denatura, anything else that you want to use, but they do actually for some reason really thrive with white sugar. I try to find the organic and unbleached white sugars. It's quite difficult at times, but I have managed to find a few brands out there. I'm sure if you look around you'll find them too. And when it comes to the teas, there's a lot of people out there that are encouraging people to use like green tea and herbal teas. Now, I never ever recommend this as your base stock. Your base stock is what you're brewing your kombucha in. It should be black tea. The reason for this is kombucha's actually been specially bred over thousands of years for black tea. It has all of the essential nutrients and vitamins and minerals that the kombucha needs to thrive. And it also has caffeine, and that's really important for the microbes. They actually use that as fuel a lot. So if you're giving them teas that don't contain caffeine, you're going to have very unhealthy kombucha very quickly, and it may actually become dangerous. You of course won't know this because it won't look any different until you actually consume it, and then it's quite possibly too late and you'll get quite sick from it. So please just use black tea. When you're bottling it, that's when you can add your flavoured teas. Some people choose to bottle their kombucha. I do at times, sometimes I don't, sometimes I do. I tend to just have it straight from the brew. You can bottle it. When you bottle it, put about a quarter of the container bottle with your base stock, and then top it up with the herbal tea of your choice, because that way if it does turn out that the herbal tea that you've chosen, let's just use an example of say lavender tea, lavender actually has antimicrobials in it, so when you add that to the microbes, of course they're going to kill it. You don't want to do that to your base stock. So experiment all you like and make some really, there's some really great and unique flavours out there. One of my personal favourites is peach tea. However, don't try to make it from your batch stock. Your batch stock should just be plain black tea. That is actually really important. Now after 14 days or 2 cycles where you've topped it up, you may wish to move it to a bigger jar. You can move it to a bigger area as you want, because the SCOBY will just grow to take that area. Now this one probably won't come out too easily because it is a square jar with a little round hole at the top, and that's something that you do need to consider as well. Now, just to show you with your SCOBY, if you wish to start a new batch, we just simply peel that off. Don't use cheap little plastic tongs. We peel off a layer, return a layer to it, and then we can start again with another layer. Because of course, the SCOBY, that's essentially what it is. It's just layers and layers of the bacteria and yeast. So that's pretty much it. Setting up is really easy. So it's 2 tablespoons of water, 2 tablespoons of sugar per 350 ml of water, and a black tea bag. So remember to try and use unbleached tea bags as well. These sorts are absolutely fine, but just use the unbleached paper because the bleaches can actually stay in the paper and they can transfer into your kombucha and kill the microbes, and you don't want that. So I've been Brand Lucy for Culture Crazy Australia. So thank you for joining us, and I hope that you found that really informative and easy to set up your kombucha. If you've got any questions, don't forget to email us at info@culturecrazy.com.au, and we'll catch you next time. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to the videos just to catch any updates and any recipes that we post as we go. So again, thanks for joining us, and happy culturing.